What's up, everybody? This is Greg Birch with Delta Financial, and this is the Be the Difference podcast. This podcast is all about making you a better person in your life and in your business with coaching on sales, leadership, mindset, marketing, everything under the sun when it comes to being an entrepreneur. And we bring on guest speakers. Today, I'm bringing back Mr. Zach Allen to talk about a special topic. He wants to talk about competition today. So, Zach, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. So congratulations is in order. You finally got, he's in the process of selling his house and moving. He finally had his house, he had an offer put on his house in this economy.
Yeah.
which has been a little bit of a stress for you.
Yeah, it has, but we're escaping at the last minute, man. We've done really well in the house in the last 2 years, and we're in middle of renovating the new one, and things will be well. It's a game-changing position for us. So
speaking of renovations, Zach sends this picture.
I guess we're going to talk about this, huh?
Zach sends this picture to our group chat, and it was a no shit, a dead cat that was inside of a cabinet, like underneath the top of a cabinet. And like closed off. There was no way it could have got in there. It was put in there. There was absolutely no way. It's completely walled off. It was just an empty space within the cabinetry that had an actual cabinet top or
The
countertop. Had a countertop on top of it. They took the countertops off because they're redoing the countertops. And there's this dead cat inside. How in the F did that get in there, bro?
So backstory, guys. We did buy a shithole of a house. We are gutting it. It'll be completely brand new when we're done. But the people that lived there before us were clearly lowlifes. Honestly, this is the third cat we found. That's the only one inside, but we found 3 carcasses outside. The Humane Society was called on these people. They did have charges pressed and all that.
Well, they should. Yeah. That's disgusting, man. That kind of negligence for animals, man. Those people need to be shot and hung, bro.
Yep. The neighbors had turned them in. They had horses. They had everything. They had way too many animals in that area. I was even told by a neighbor that once they got involved, they tried to hide some of the animals in the house. But guys, I'm not going to live like that. So we are gutting this house. It will be a brand new house when we're done. But yeah, it was.
I didn't even know what it was. I took the picture and I saw it and I was like, oh, what the hell is that? And
you got to zoom in.
And then you have to I had to zoom in. I was like, what the shit? And it's like, you could tell there's all these walls. There's no way it had to have been placed in there and then a countertop put on top of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't come from anywhere else. They built the countertop over top and clearly just did not care. It's sad. It's absolutely really sad that, not only for the animals, but human beings live like that. The place was disgusting. Me and my son were working on it, and all of a sudden he turns to me and his face is just white. And he's like, "Dad, I found a cat." I'm like, "What do you mean you found a cat? Is it alive?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Huh, look at that." So,
holy crap, man.
But it was definitely that one takes the cake, man. We had found some nasty stuff, but that
all the pictures you've been sending, there's a lot of trash in that property, bro. Yeah. I feel bad. That's gonna be some work for you.
It is, but it's not our first rodeo. We've done this before. We've already filled up one 30-yard dumpster. So, and we're probably going to need 2 or 3 more. So, dude. But in the end, it'll be worth it, man. We'll be mortgage free at 33 years old.
Tina's a patient woman, bro.
She'll have the house she wants at the end, bro. That's what it's all about. She's designing it, but I'm me and my son are the ones doing all the work. But it's also good for them, man. They're learning valuable lessons and how to work on houses and everything. So at 16 years old, my son can pretty much do anything related to a house. So
that's awesome, man. That's a good thing for a young man to learn.
Yep.
Is how to be self-sufficient, how to create, right? How to build, how to actually be a man.
Yep. Yeah. So actually this office I'm sitting in right now, I mean, through the podcast and everything, you guys have seen different glimpses of it, but pretty much he built this. Floor, ceilings, and everything. When we bought this house, this is the one we're selling. This room was bare studs.
So, oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. This one was kind of a flip house for us too, but it was bare studs. We've done all this. He did the whole ceiling, floors, walls, everything. So I just kind of oversee it and step in when I need to.
How's the return going to be for selling the house? Are you guys making any profit at all?
Oh yeah, that we're making enough money on this one to fully pay for the other one. So
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we've only been here 2 years, so it's not bad to walk away with enough equity to be able to pay for the other property cash. And the other one is, it's a small farm. It's already got a barn. It's got a giant shop and, a nasty house. But it's on the side of a mountain, man. Outside my master bedroom is a giant deck, and we're just overlooking the mountains.
Yeah.
So once it's fresh, it'll be nice. But right now it's kind of it's an eyesore at the moment, but the neighbors appreciate it, so that it's getting redone.
Because they got good neighbors in. That's good, man. That's good. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. That's really awesome. It's really awesome.
It'll all play out in the end. Just as usual, a million things going on at one time. But that's what keeps us young.
Yeah, definitely. so on to the topic.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you go and start.
Yeah, man. Today I wanted to come in here and talk about healthy competition within the workplace, right? There's 2 agency owners here in Delta, me, myself, and Joey Watkins. We each have a team underneath us. But we've created a healthy competition within Delta. And, there's some shit talking going on, but it motivates everybody on the team, right? My team's like, hey, we're going to take down Team Alpha, which is what Joey calls his team. And, Joey's talking a little bit here and there too. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're going to win. So, I mean, he can talk all he wants. But, there's some guidelines within that too. Like, it has to remain healthy. Yes, we talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, we still adhere to the core values, and we're going to help each other's team succeed. I can call on Joey to do anything, he can as well, but he's still going to lose.
I love the topic of competition because, a lot of people shy away from that. Yeah. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not a competitive person.
Yeah, you are. You're just scared.
What do you think about that?
Everybody's competitive, man. Everybody is competitive. If they tell you they're not competitive, they're full of shit, and they just haven't found what they're competitive at. Yeah. And I think if you don't have a competitive streak in you, you're going to get run over in life.
Oh yeah, I mean, in order to win, that's just that's the law of the universe, the law of nature, right? Yeah. Look at just a lion. A lion, that's why they're the fucking king of the jungle, bro, because they're competitive. That's why they're top of the food chain, because they're competitive. And it's just that exists in every single ecosystem. The competitive ones are the winners, and they are the top, period.
Yep. And you can reframe it. I mean, even when it comes to marriage, man, it's competition. You are fighting for, the love of the woman you're after. You have to be top. So there's competition in every single aspect of your life, whether it be business, marriage, anything of that nature. So everybody has a competitive streak in them, and some people tend to bury it. But I also think that if you bury that competition streak in you, that leads to depression and stuff as well.
Why do you think that people bury it?
Fear. I think it comes down to fear. In order to be good at something, you have to try something new, right? And there's always a learning curve, and so they're fearful of going through that learning curve and looking stupid. You have to get out of your comfort zone, but in order to master something, you have to be repetitive and consistent at it.
Yeah. I think, my opinion, I think that it's not so much fear. I think it's been bred out a lot of people from society. So think about it like this. Like, you got your son's name Jack. Your
the baby Jackson. Yeah.
So old Jack. He looks like friggin' Jack too. So Jack is what is he, 2?
He'll be 2 in March.
Okay. So when he does something, let's say that he's got a little friggin' Little Tykes basketball hoop, and he throws it in there and he makes it. What happens? Does he get excited? Yeah. So it's like we are innately, when we win or we accomplish something, like even as babies, you're right.
Yep.
We we get excited. Like, it is part of our DNA to want to win and accomplish things, which in essence is being competitive.
Yeah.
Okay. I think over time, when we have the, getting 17th place trophies and bullshit, everybody's a winner. Let's make it inclusive of everybody. I'm sorry, but there's winners and there's losers, period.
Right.
Period. Like, that's just how life is. There are some
Yep.
people that are losing right now, and there's some people that are winning. Now, the losers can become winners, and the winners can become losers. It can go both ways. So, but people are being taught and like molded by society out of this, like, to make it seem like competition's bad. But honestly, if you're looking at becoming an entrepreneur, and you're listening to this, whether you're in insurance or you're in any other sales entrepreneurial position in any industry, then you have to be competitive in order to be an entrepreneur. Like, it's part of the deal. You can't come in and just be like, well, I'm just going to my 9 to 5 and like I'm doing the same things every day, not trying to improve. You're not going to be successful. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get your lunch stolen and eaten by somebody continuously, day in and day out, because you're not improving, because you're not competing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you bring up an interesting point about my child Jack. You and I and Kevin have had this conversation. I've got 4 kids, and 2 of them are stubborn as hell. If they want something, they're gonna get it. Come hell or high water, they're gonna give a shit till they get it. And as a parent, right now it's super annoying. However, as I'm getting older, I realize how valuable that persistency is as an adult.
It's almost like resourcefulness.
Yeah, absolutely. It's extremely valuable. So as a parent, you have to be careful to not squash that in them, because like you just said, technically you're squished, or I don't want to say breeding it out of them, but getting rid of their competition. You just keep punishing them for doing what they want to do. But as an adult, that becomes very, very valuable, as long as, they turn into productive citizens, which there's no doubt in my mind they will. But their persistency and their stubbornness, headstrongness is ridiculous as a child. I've never seen anything like it. We had our first child at 16, and we were fortunate. My first child was very well behaved. And you look at all these other parents and you're like, why do they got their kids on leashes? And then I had 2 of them, and I realized why they have their kids on leashes. Because these children, man, they've got a wild streak in them. They'll be all over the place climbing on things, but if they want something, man, they're going to get it. Yeah. They're absolutely going to get it. So, like I said, as I've gotten older, I've been a lot more cautious of, just redirecting, and I don't want to squish that in them, because it will pay off in the end. They're going to get what they want.
So I love that you're talking about this as a parent, because that's a great way to do a comparison and kind of, I guess, illustrate our point. I believe that, and I've seen this so many countless times, where you see that one kid that's just like a fucking shithead and just, just a crappy kid, right? And their parents just like coddling them, like, oh, I want them to be my best friend and they're my buddy. And like, it's like, dude, you have a 7-year-old demon, okay? Because all you do is you give them everything that they want, because anytime they want something, they cry, and you just provide it to them. You don't make them work for anything, and you're not teaching them. You're like, it's almost like, well, I didn't have a good relationship with my parents, so I'm going to have a great relationship with my kids.
Yep.
And so, and we're going to be best buddies, and we're going to friggin' like have matching outfits and all this cool stuff. Like, and all that does is it's breeding like people that are not competitive, that don't understand the value of hard work. Like, part of the competition is that you gotta put some pressure on somebody. You gotta discipline them. Like, for me, anytime that we went out, back when I was still married, even when we had 4 kids, we went out places, everyone was all like, man, you have the most well-behaved kids. And I was like, yes, because I beat them. It's like, but they were well behaved. Like anytime we went out anywhere, it's like, hey guys, you better not act up. And my kids are super competitive, especially my youngest. He's like really competitive.
Yeah.
And but they have to work for what they get, you know. And we challenge them in ways, even after we separated, we co-parent very effectively because we challenge them in ways that make them actually like work for things.
Right.
Because, and we're not just giving them everything. It's not that we're not showing love. We show love. That's part of it. But you don't just get whatever you want.
Yep.
You know, that's not how life is. And as I've gotten older, I have more respect and an affinity towards the people that were super difficult and hard on me in my life, whether that like teachers, friends of my parents, my mom, you know, they challenged me a lot. And I like looking back on all those experiences, I appreciate that because it made me a stronger, like mentally tougher person, more resilient person, more resourceful. And I think resourcefulness is part of that competitive factor of being able to like no matter what, finding a way, like wanting to find a way, but then finding a way and coming up with unique ideas and being a problem solver as part of that, you know, entrepreneurial spirit. So, you know, competition is something that if you hear somebody who's just like, well, I'm not really competitive, I agree with you. Like, A, you're full of shit. You're just not good at whatever you're doing. And you haven't found something that you want to be competitive at. But dude, there's people that like, for instance, my brother, my older brother, Steven, who's next in line to me. He's my closest age brother.
Right.
Steven won't watch this, so I can talk all kinds of shit about him. I want to send this video to my brother, Christopher, and let him listen to it. Steven is I'm the youngest of 6 kids.
Okay.
And all of us are very much like me. We're all like A-type. We're all very headstrong. We're all very competitive. We all want to win in different varying degrees, except for Steven. Steven's the odd one out. He is the most beta dude I've ever met. He is literally like I'm 3.5 years younger than him. And I used to beat him up like from the time I was about 6 on. Like we would wrestle and I would just beat him up and just like I was really mean to him as a kid, to be honest. Like I used to pick on Steve real bad because he was so weird. He was just like completely different than all of us. And so Steven loves video games. I mean, loves them to this day. You know, Steven's in his 40s. And anytime I'm like, hey, bro, what you been doing? He was like, man, I'm playing Chrono Trigger. I'm replaying Chrono Trigger from Super Nintendo that came out back when I was like 10, bro. This is like a 30-year-old game almost. And he's like, he's like, dude, I love this game. He's like, I got to play it like once a year. And I'm like, Steven, like, what are you doing with your life, bro? Like, what are you know? Now, when we were kids, there was anytime we played anything 2-player, he's competitive, bro.
Yeah.
That's his thing. That's his thing. And one time we were playing this 2-player game. We were young. I was like 5 or 6. And I was playing, do you remember no, I was older than that. I was like 8, I think. I was about 8 years old. Because it was Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES.
Right.
And we had there was a 2-player mode. It was like one screen, and like you play Mario or Luigi, and all you're trying to do is get like as many coins as possible. But you could like jump on each other, and all the coins would go away.
Yep.
And so I kept jumping on him. It's still in his shit. Dude. Steven got he was like, stop doing it. And Steven jumped up and dude punched me straight in the eye, blacked my eye, like knocked me out, bro. And that's the only time that Steven's ever been aggressive. If I'd have been aggressive with him any other time, dude, I'd have whooped his ass. Right? Yeah. He like turtle up. He would be like a dog, like getting on his back on all fours and like, like that's just the way he was. But with video games, bro, that competitiveness came out, right? And he was just like, hell no, I'm winning. And so even with people like that I've seen, like, you still have something that you're competitive with, that you're good at, that you have a passion for, or whatever. And that this happens to be my brothers. So, you know, if you're not competitive, honestly, like, look back on what's happened in your life and why. Like, there's probably some situations, there's been experiences that you've had, whether it's been your parents, your teachers, people making fun of you when you want to, like, oh, I'm going to go do this. They're like, oh, you can't do that. You suck. Like, oh, I suck. And you quit.
You let them get in your head.
Yeah, you let them get in your head. So look back on the situations and kind of identify those and realize that, like, you can be competitive, but maybe it's just you haven't found that one thing that makes you, like, kind of proud, and like you can progress at. By the more you do it, you get that progression, which gives you joy. The more progression you get, it's like something switches in your mind. You're like, oh man, I'm actually good at this. Like, oh, how good can I get? And like, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You know, another case in point is when I was skinny, you know, I've been doing a lot of posts lately showing, like, when I was a
baby giraffe.
Baby giraffe, bro. I was scrawny. I was 175, 180 pounds and 6'7", 107. Dude, I looked like Ichabod Crane. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, I was like really skinny. A strong gust of wind could have blown me away if I had a wingsuit on, bro. Like, so, but I was very self-conscious about it. Like, I was really, really, really self-conscious about it. I tried to eat all kinds of food. I would eat anything I wanted. I was like on the seafood diet. I saw it, I ate it. You know, I was just eating everything all the time. Wouldn't gain weight. Nothing happened. And I ran a lot, but I was a fast runner. So I was very competitive at running in order to overcompensate for my size, which got to me. It mentally messed with me. My self-image was terrible. It messed with my confidence. You know, as a young officer and I'm scrawny like that, getting in front of soldiers and trying to talk to them and like lead them and be like the macho, like, hey, we're going to war. Get your shit together. Like, you know, I was like super nervous about doing that because I was like, no one's going to want to listen to me because I'm so scrawny. So my first deployment, I met up with a guy named Benjamin Wendland, who was another lieutenant, and he just looked at me and he was like, dude, you're a scrawny bitch. He was a cool dude. He was another lieutenant. We were both XOs in different infantry companies, but he just looked at me. He's like, dude, we need to put some fucking meat on your bones because you're a scrawny bitch and everyone talks about you behind your back, just so you know. And so he was like, but don't worry, I'm going to show you the ropes. I'm going to show you how this is done. And he started going to the gym with me. And we went to the gym every single day when I was on deployment. He showed me how to do supplementation. I started eating like on specific times. I was eating like 6 meals a day while I was deployed. And most of the meals were like, to be honest, like peanut butter jelly and canned chicken and then protein shake. Like I was just trying to consume calories. I think during that time frame, I was eating like 6,000 to 8,000 calories a day. I was eating a lot of calories because I was really trying to grow in order to massively to get past that my metabolic burn rate, my metabolic resting rate, which is like how much I burn naturally without even while resting. And so, yeah, man, what I found is that when I started lifting consistently and I had someone there pushing me, it was a lot different. I went from barely being able to doing, you know, like 95 pounds on the bench press, which is a 25 25s on each side. I went from that to doing like 235 for sets pretty quickly. And then I eventually got to 315 for sets. And then I maxed out on 405 during that deployment. And I got to a point where people started like, when I go in and I go to lift and I'd start putting weight on and I go to lift, people would stop and look and be like, damn. When I first started, there was people that were crushing me in workouts. And like, they were like, I can outlift you, sir. And I'm like, whatever. And then they would outlift me. But what that did is it just drove me to push me to go harder and harder and harder and lift more and like push myself in every single thing. And I became very competitive. And I went in that 1 year from doing like 95 pounds on the bench press to doing a 405 pound 1 rep max. Like that's impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's amazing. Do you think if he never stepped in there and was honest with you, having that honest conversation with you, do you think eventually that would have completely squashed your competitiveness and you would have, just kind of stayed in your position at that point?
No, I think that conversation was necessary.
Absolutely.
It was necessary. It was 100% necessary.
That's one of those hard conversations that you sometimes need to have with your friends, peers, whatever, as long as you come from a good position.
A place of like wanting to increase. It's okay to tell somebody something constructive criticism. It's okay. Right. That's how we grow.
Yep.
That is how like we should. All of us are competitive. All of us want to get better. It's why are you here in life? Right. Is it just to exist and watch Netflix every fucking day and eat your bonbons and your Doritos and hot Cheetos and then go to work 9 to 5 and never improve and then complain to your friends about how your boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you or cheated on you or whatever the fuck, and you do that every single day and then you go drinking at the bar? It's like, is that what you really want for your existence?
That's just
like, that's not why we're here. That's not what we're meant to be doing.
Nope,
and it's like, look at your fucking life sometimes and be like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And like have that hard conversation with yourself. He just happened to have a hard conversation with me, which I was already having with myself. I just didn't know what to do. I was like shy or self-conscious about going into the gym. But I'm telling you, that moment changed my life. Yep. When I came back from that deployment, I was 250 pounds, bro. I came back. I went 175. I left one human being as one human being.
Yeah.
And I came back as almost twice the size, bro.
Right.
My ex-wife, my wife at the time, she looked at me when I came back and she was like, "Who are you?" And she was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. And I was like, too bad. You better get used to it because I'm never going back.
Yep.
That shit's
builds that confidence.
I was like, that guy's never coming back because I'm stuck this way. And there was something just very satisfying. Like, how big can I started to see size and muscle build, and I started to get bigger. And it just something sparked. It was like getting we when we were deployed, we called it getting the bug.
Right.
And it was just like, dude, I got the bug. And it's like, I thought about working out all the fucking time. I was like, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta eat. I started tracking macros. I started doing my own research. I started doing this. And I was like, dude, I did so much research on diet, on macros, on protein, on supplementation, on workout strategies, on everything. And I was just implementing as much as I could. But there were soldiers that were looking at me like, dude, sir, you did a massive change. And like they're like, what are you doing? And I started inspiring more soldiers to go to the gym. And that's the kind of the piece there is that people started changing their life with physical fitness and started improving their life.
Yep.
And because I became this like shining beacon example, because I was just like, dude, I didn't want to be that anymore. And I looked at him when he said that to me, he told me the truth. I was like, dude, I don't want people to be talking about me because I'm a scrawny bitch. Because I am a scrawny bitch. I need to get big. Like I need to put some muscle on.
Yep. You had the humility to actually listen to him and not just put it off,
Not just I could have been like, man, fuck you, dude. Make fun of me, and then go and cried in my bonbons and like go to
sit back on the couch and watched another series on Netflix and went about your life and wasted away, and then life was over.
Netflix didn't have series back then, but still.
Getting your DVD in the mail was no, you probably had Blockbuster back then.
Yeah, Blockbuster is still in existence back then. For those of you don't know.
That's funny.
And so dude, you're absolutely right. You do have sometimes you have to have that pivotal moment conversation where it's not what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear.
Yep.
And honestly, as parents, you got to tell that you got to do that with your kids too.
Right.
You can't be coddling them and telling them, oh, you're a beautiful sunflower. You can do anything you want. You could be like, I tell my youngest son, Grayson, is doing, he's doing lacrosse right now, which he is good. I will say he's good, but he's on a new team because he just moved to Florida and it's big there in his area. So it's really big on the East Coast. And the team he's playing on, these kids have been playing together for years, right? And so he's an outsider.
Yep.
He's the outsider. And they're treating him like the outsider. And so what is he doing? He's coming in and just being the Lone Ranger and like trying to steal the ball and just like never passing it, always trying to make goals. And he's making goals because he's very competitive. But I'm looking at him like, buddy, you need to get your head out of your ass and you need to start working with people. You need to start passing it. You need to start being a team player. He's like, but they don't pass it to me. It's like, dude, you have to lead by example.
Yep.
You cannot expect them to do it first. You have to be the leader. You have to do it first. When you start doing it first, they're going to see the example you set and they're going to follow suit. And then you can become that like almost impromptu leader of the team. Absolutely. It's not going to happen the other way around. So stop waiting for them for things to change. Stop waiting for someone to come save you. And I had this conversation with him. I was like, dude, you're kind of coming off like you're your little shithead, man. No wonder they don't want to pass it to you.
Yeah. But that competitive streak, man, it'll take him far in life. That's what it all comes down to. You know, that confidence that you built, you know, from sizing up, if you will, that helps your competitiveness tremendously. I mean,
dude. You know, it made me, dude, I was a pretty competitive person beforehand, but it made me like ultra competitive after that. And dude, I'm telling you, it changes your confidence. When you can make a change with your physical body, the confidence level, because you can see it, it soars. Because you're like, what else can I change? What else can I do?
Always have these excuses, man. I don't need that to be happy. I don't care. It's not important. But that's always an excuse.
Excuses. I'll be honest. Right. If you're listening to this, you're like, oh man, Greg's full of shit. Like, I don't need to work out to be happy. Okay. Right. You're full of shit, bro. You're full of shit. Because I'm telling you, I guarantee you, you are unhappy in your life. You're unhappy looking in the mirror at your naked body. You fucking probably cry yourself to sleep. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm telling you that you have self-esteem issues, you have insecurities, and you're not happy with yourself if you're saying that shit. I promise you, because I've been there.
You could almost feel like you're happy, but you're lying to yourself. Like you really have to sit down and self-analyze. Would you be happier at that pool if you could take your shirt off and be proud? Absolutely. I don't think there's anybody in this world that would say, no, I'm fine.
No, I don't want to. No, dude, if you have kids, you're taking your kids to the pool and you don't want to take off your shirt and be like, dude, when I take off my shirt at the pool, bro, I want it to be like a fucking slow-mo scene. You know what I'm saying? I want to get in the middle, and look around and wait for people to kind of make eyes. And I'm like, that's right. And you know what I'm saying? So then they're like, damn. And then my kids are like, Dad, stop. And then all my kids' friends they're like, dude, your dad is like massive. He's so big. Like, oh, he's so muscular. He's like Captain America. And they love talking to me. They just go, and so my kid's actually excited about it. He's like, hey, I want to show my dad off. So like, it makes me happier. Why not?
But this isn't like some, gym bro conversation where it's all about your physique and everything. What we're trying to reiterate to everybody is that this will play into every part of your life.
Yes.
It starts there. There's scientific facts. You exercise, it increases the endorphins. Like, you're overall happier. You don't have to be completely ripped. What's that?
It helps your stress levels.
Right.
There's a study, and I can put it in the show notes, from the British Journal of Sports Medicine. And in the study, they did a study to see what was the difference between working out and taking antidepressant medication for depression, for mild and moderate depression, not like extreme depression where like people were, had to get hospitalized or be inpatient therapy or anything like that, but mild to moderate depression. So they had three different test groups. All of them were like, they did to make sure that they're all pretty much the same across the board. Test group 1 took just antidepressants. Test group 2 took antidepressants and did exercise. Test group 3 did only exercise. Now, what the study concluded was that over a short period of time, there was no difference in someone's ability to overcome their depression between all three of those.
Right.
So that means that exercise is just as effective as antidepressants, just as effective, right? They're all equally the same. No matter what, even if you do both, it's the same. Here's where the study gets super interesting. Okay. They followed these people for a period of time, and it was like 6 months, and to see what was their relapse rate. What was the percentage of people that relapsed, continuing down the path that once their depression symptoms would be relieved, what percentage would it return? And they would relapse. So for the first test group that took antidepressants, it was about a 38% relapse rate. About 38% of people would relapse and fall back in depression, even though they're on still antidepressants. The second test group, not much different. It's about 31, 32%. Even though they're exercising and taking antidepressants, they continue that for about 6 months. About 31, 32% would have a relapse. Here's what's fucking awesome. The workout is like 8% relapse rate.
Yep.
So having workouts has a prolonged effect on your mental health. Yeah. Creating those good habits makes you happier, healthier, takes away depression, your stress. It creates endorphins. It helps you with your competitive, like your internal competitiveness. It helps you with your ability to like grow, because as you progress in one thing, your mind starts to realize, what else can I progress in?
Yep.
And it finds other things to progress in. I attribute my ability, my success in the military, and then my ability to be successful as an entrepreneur 1,000% to starting doing, like, committing to physical fitness back in 2009 when I was on my deployment in Iraq in Kirkuk. That's when I started. I've been working out for 13 plus years. I've had 13 years of this, and I've had some ups and some downs. I've had periods of time where I stopped working out as much, or I'd be like, I'm just going to go to the gym once or twice this week or whatever. I've had those ups and downs. Okay.
That's part of it. Right.
But
it's not a linear thing ever. Nobody else talks about that.
It's almost like it's like an upward,
yep,
momentum, but that you'll come down. It's like the stock market, right? You go up, and then you're gonna go down a little bit, then you're gonna go up, then you go down a little bit, you go down, but you're always continuously trending upwards, right?
Yep.
And I can tell you from my experience is that this is 100% true, because I have I'm diagnosed PTSD. I have had depression. I have had suicidal ideations. I have been on medication, and I was seeking therapy. Just recently, a couple of years ago, after I got out of the military, from about mid 2018 until 2021. So the beginning of 2021, I came off of medication in 2021 because I did 75 hard. And when I did 75 hard, consistently doing 2 workouts every day, doing the mental toughness aspect of everything, dude, my mind changed everything. And I came off of my medication. I weaned off of it, and I've been off of it ever since. And I've had zero issues of depression since then. I've had not one episode.
It's fascinating. I went on pills too for about 2 weeks, and I said, fuck this. I threw them out. I'm not doing it. And that's when I started exercising as well. I think, and again, like you said earlier, there are people with extreme depression that needs to be treated. But when you go to the doctor and you say, oh, I'm not feeling well, the first thing they do is prescribe you a pill, right? You're masking the problem. You're not self-identifying what's really not making you happy.
Absolutely right.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have to look at your life and say, hey, what about my life right now is not making me happy? Is it my physical appearance? Is it my job? Is it, coming home and taking care of the kids and sitting inside? All right, cool. Let's switch up your routine. Take the kids to the park. Go do something with the kids active. Start changing your physical appearance. Work on your marriage if that's what's not making you happy. But instead of taking a pill to mask the problem, start working towards fixing the problem. And you got to have those honest conversations with yourself and work towards them. But back to the whole doctor thing, you know, if you have a heart attack, right? They can scan and see that, right? I'm not a doctor. I don't know the exact procedures, but they can see that to diagnose it.
Yeah.
When you're getting a antidepressant, hey, how you feeling? Oh, I'm a little depressed. Okay, here's this pill.
Yeah, there's
no
test.
It's opinionated. It's absolutely opinionated. And, you know, I would bet that, again, my personal opinion, well over 50% of people on pills can, you know, do something different in their life and make themselves happy versus taking them, you know. But again, we aren't doctors, you know, it's definitely a balance, but you got to take the actions to better your life. And, you know, and this will tie back up to where we started. That'll increase your competitiveness.
It will.
But it all starts, you know, you have to self-analyze and be honest with yourself. You know, and for you, the gentleman came into your life and said, "Hey, you're a scrawny bitch."
He really did, bro. I'm not even exaggerating that conversation.
Right. But that was a good, healthy relationship, though.
Yeah.
And I've had times where you've told me, "Hey, man, you should do 75 hard again. You're slacking." But those people in your life that can have those conversations with you are extremely valuable.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to have the humility to accept it. And
that is true, man. You got to have those different people that are just telling you. And I'll close off with this because this has been this has actually been it's been a little bit longer than I thought. Usually when I get like a 20 minutes, but this has been really good. You know, when you look at the people in your life and you have a challenge, say that you, a case in point. The other day, literally, like 2 days ago, my girlfriend, Alex, she was like buying flowers for her friend.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm buying flowers because, you know, she had a bad day and this, that, the other. I was like, that's really thoughtful of you. That's nice. And she was like, yeah, I just try to do things for people that I would want done for me. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do that. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, what I'm saying is I can't do things to people that I want done to me if I'm having a bad day. And she was like, well, why is that? And I was like, because if I'm having a bad day and I'm complaining about stuff, what I want someone to do is look me straight in my eye and be like, Greg, why the fuck are you being a whiny bitch? Yep. Get up and get to work. Stop making excuses. You put yourself in this position.
Yep.
That's what I want. Like, honestly, like no bullshit. That's what I want. And she was like, wow, she was like, yeah. She's like, I'm not doing that to you. I was like, if you do it, I'd love it. Like, then I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, you're right. And then it forces me to like get up and move. I might be a little bit of a masochist, but I don't think I'm the only person that feels this way. Right. Like there's people out there that are like, no, look, I actually, it's real, it's raw, and it's honest. And so my point here is that look at the people that you have in your life. If you have a challenging situation, you broke up with somebody, or you have financial issues, or you didn't get the raise at work or whatever, and you're telling your buddies around drinks on the weekend, or your girls going out to the club, and you're fucking complaining about this shit, and they're like, girl, like, and they're just agreeing with everything you say, and like, you deserve the world, girl. Like, it's all going to come to you. Just manifest that shit. Like, no, the fuck, it's not. Okay. I'm not saying don't do manifestations. I do, but you also got to do work. You also got to do work. You also got to be like realistic, and you have to be honest and take accountability. And what you need is someone in your life to be like, can I be honest with you? Can I be candid and transparent with you? Yes. Okay. Hey, the reason you're not getting a promotion at work is because you do the bare minimum.
Yep.
And everyone else is outperforming you. And you think just because you're a pretty face that you're special, and you're not special. The reason that you and your boyfriend broke up is because you're weak, and you refuse to change, and you don't want to take accountability for your actions, and you just want to blame. You refuse to compromise on things. The reason that you have money problems is because you keep overspending, is because you don't have a budget, is because you buy things because of what you think you want and need, and you're not holding back. and only getting the bare necessities during a time frame when it's difficult. You're
Life
putting
purpose.
yourself in this position. Stop fucking complaining.
Yep.
That's what you need. Honestly, is you need people to be more honest. And honestly, like, people are thinking it. I know people are thinking it. And I know, because here's what happens is that friend that's like, oh, girl, blah, blah, blah. She's going to turn around and she's going to go to all the other friends and be like, man, I'm tired of this girl complaining. Like, fuck, get over this guy. Like, the reason y'all broke up was because of you, girl.
Right.
And they're going to
They
talk
just don't.
shit. And everything they're thinking, they're going to say to another person. I'm just going to say it to you. Right. And I would rather you just say it to me.
Yep. They don't have the confidence to say it to you themselves.
Yeah.
They're lacking the confidence to say it. So,
surround yourself with more, and exactly. You're surrounding yourself with unconfident people to not be themselves, to not show the true person they are. And dude, that's just weak. And it's not even true love. Like, I would rather someone just tell me because I appreciate it. And I'm like, dude, thank you for being honest. You're right. You're not wrong. Right. Now I know I'm surrounded by people that are going to be honest and forthright and not tell bullshit lies. Right.
Yep.
Whereas if someone's going to sit there and lie to me, like, why? Like, well, I don't want to tell them that because it might hurt their feelings. No, it's just you're too weak and you don't want to tell them because you think they might get upset at you and you think they won't be your friend anymore.
Right.
So you'd rather just tell them a lie and make them feel better. Like, does that make that's just selfish?
Yep. Trying to keep
You're
the
doing
peace.
it for selfish reasons. Don't surround yourself with those kind of people. Surround yourself with more confident people that are going to be honest and tell you the truth. And I promise you what's going to happen. You surround yourself with 5 confident people, you'll be the 6th.
Yep. You always have to check your circle and make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people. Always, always, always.
Absolutely.
So,
well, Zach, this has been a good one. This is a long one. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. This was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. And you know, at the end of the day, back to the competitiveness, Joey's team is still going to lose. So that's what it comes down to.
I will say, I've seen more conversations and I've had more conversations with people from your team that are like, oh, they're going down. And there's more activity on that side than Joey's. Now, Joey, they could be the silent assassins. Who knows, man?
We'll see.
Fucking knows. So
see how it plays out. But thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. Hey, if anyone wants to reach out to you, what can they do in order to reach out? How would they want to reach out? You know, what's the best way to reach you?
Yes, sir. Always, my phone's always on me, man. Best way is shoot me a text message, 609-610-6484. I pay attention to my text more than anything. So
very nice. Hey, if you watch this until now, it's 47 minutes in. I appreciate it. You obviously got some value. If you like the conversation, even if you were a little rubbed the wrong way, that's probably a good thing. That means you probably needed to hear it. Then do me a favor. I do this. We do this to help all of you in order to provide a message out there that's going to help people to succeed and change in their life and their business. The best thing that you can do is share this content with somebody else that's also going to grow. We can grow by word of mouth. We completely appreciate that. I need your help to do that. Next is I started because I get all these kinds of questions and comments on like, hey, what's your diet? What are you working out? What supplements you use? And so eventually I was just like, no, instead of having these individual conversations, I'm going to create this whole program. And so I basically created like a video university of all these videos, breaking down my workouts, breaking down diet, breaking down mindset. And I actually created different templates for if you're a beginner and you're trying to get workouts done, here's a good workout plan for you that you can follow. And I'm going to continue to add to it. I have intermediate people that are kind of like been in workout mode for a little bit. They're kind of growing and they're inspired a little bit, but they're looking to kind of push the envelope and try new things. And then also for more like an elite advanced expert level of working out, more like when you get to where I'm at, this is the workouts that I'm currently doing to get to the physique. I'm at less than 8% body fat right now, and I'm maintaining it. And I eat very well. So it's not like I'm eating just dry ass chicken and spinach every day. So my point is that I created this and it's free. It's 100% free. If you're interested in learning more about changing your life with physical fitness, I want to be there. I've got 13 years of fucking experience of the ups, the downs, the tweaks, the mistakes, the failures, the successes, everything that I want to share with all of you. And I want to create a community of all of us kind of winning together in 2023. And this goes with diet, supplementation, and workouts. So in order to sign up, all you got to do is go to deltafinanciallife.com/physique. That is deltafinanciallife.com/physique and sign up. You'll get an email to get you into the thing. And then we're going to be creating a face by the time this airs, there will be a Facebook group. We'll have a private Facebook group for everyone that wants to join. That everyone that joins the physique group, and we have some future stuff that I want to actually do competitions, because it's not just the training, you have to apply it, you have to actually do the work. So in order to kind of encourage that, I'll be doing $1,000 giveaway for an 8-week competition to see the biggest transformation from people that are using everything within the group, that are changing their diets, changing their workouts, changing their lives, being participating in the group, people that are participating in the Facebook group, that are sharing their successes, their workouts, their diets, the things that they're doing daily pictures, stuff like that on their physique, making that change. I'm doing $1,000 giveaway. It will be starting, I believe I'm going to do it February 1st. It'll be 8-week challenge. So this is open to everybody. It's free money. It's a free group. Come on. I want to change your life. Come on.
I'm in, bro. That's when 75 hard starts. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll be starting earlier, but that's that competitiveness, man.
I'm telling you. Let's go. Let's go, baby birds.
Let's do it.
Papa Bird's going to feed you. Let's go. So remember, deltafinanciallife.com/physique. All right. Go join. Thank you so much. This has been the Be the Difference podcast. I'm your host, Greg Birch. Until next time, deuces. We'll see you guys.